So I was trying to define what video I kind of want to have a reaction to next. And I didn't know if I wanted to go back and talk about Heck and Steve or more resellers because I didn't realize that last video was going to do well. Well, by the metric of people are watching it. Thank you, by the way. And I couldn't bring myself to do it because I don't necessarily want everything I talk about to be about resellers and how they can be a blight to gaming. However, what I have been playing gaming has been Expedition 33. It's been the new hotness. I was seeing a lot of advertising for it and a lot of talk right around the time where I finished up Blueprints, which, by the way, is another fantastic game. Go check it out. And I've really been enjoying myself. I really do think Expedition 33 is going to end up as a potential Game of the Year candidate at the end of 2025. Now, obviously, it's not for everyone, but I was going through YouTube and I came across this little number. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is the most overrated game of 2025. I mean, that's awfully bold saying that they literally just remastered Oblivion. And I mean, if we want to talk about overrated, I mean, make your opinions known there. But I do want to preface by saying, yes, I'm aware that opinions are subjective and that everyone's going to have them. But I got through majority of this video and I'm like, I have to talk about what this guy is saying because I do not agree with where he's coming from. Now, the person I'm referring to, Young Defiant, is obviously entitled to his opinion. He is fully allowed to have these thoughts of this game. And if you've played it and not liked it, that's fine. But there were a lot of things in here that I had issue with. And I'm going to get into it. To me, it just seems like there are so many people who just want to gatekeep gaming genres to a point where people just can't turn on a game, have fun, be super hype about it, and enjoy themselves. There always has to be people to just immediately shoot everything down. And I feel like this guy is kind of in that boat. So let's get into it, and I'll tell you, we'll talk about it at the end.
This is being called one of the greatest RPGs in recent memory and has it.
I could see an argument for that being made. I can't think of many others that have come out recently that could take that title. I mean, Elden Ring came out a year, 2 years ago, but I'd argue that leans more into the difficulty of the game itself, like it's referred to as like a Souls type game, where the game requires you to get good at the combat system, at rolling and dodging and things like that. And this game kind of does the same thing. So, yeah, just put a pin in that thought right there.
An insanely high Metacritic score, glowing reviews. Everyone's playing it on Twitch. Everyone's talking about it. They're already calling it a Game of the Year contender. Just getting tons of praise. But we all know none of the people saying the game is good are credible. If we were to go through their trophies, they're playing trash games left and right. These reviewers, of course, they're paid shills that can't be taken seriously.
Yes, that's right. You heard him correctly. If you play this game and you like it, you're a paid-for shill and a fake gamer. Yeah, remember what I said about people who gatekeep the hobby?
Whatsoever, just fraudulent fake gamers that have no idea what real RPGs are. I mean, for God's sakes, these were the same people that said the Oblivion remaster was good. So are we really going to take the opinion of clowns like this seriously? Could never be me, but I guess it could be you. Now listen, as the king of gaming, aka me, as someone who literally breathes RPGs, aka me, you know I'm always going to find the truth. Sniff it out. Where is it? I gotta sniff. My nose is going into over.
I also think it might have something to do with the fact that this is a free game on Game Pass. Sold 2 million copies within about 2 weeks. And that's not taking into effect the total number of downloads through Game Pass. And if people are still praising this game, even though you can play it for free technically, I mean, what does that say?
Overdrive, sniffing out the BS and trying to find the truth. This
BS.
Investigative journalism that I've been doing for years. I've been hitting the streets trying to get that information so I can relay it to the public. And it just proves once again how truly great I am, but that's neither here nor there. Now, I usually would not even bother giving a game like this any attention as far as gameplay.
Oh, I know. Don't give a game like this any attention. You know, it was only a development team that left a large studio that has been, I'd argue, one of the, you know, on the downward slope of developing games, but a small group of like 30-ish people were able to put this out. Yeah. Oh, I know. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Usually do my still image game as usual, you know, have some great editing in there, but we would, you know, just be talking over the still image, even though all those videos are still highly edited. But as someone so deeply invested into RPGs, JRPGs specifically, but I will dibble and dabble in other RPGs just to see if they're good.
Which he will contradict himself on that in just a minute.
I said, okay, you know what? I'm willing to give this game a shot. So I bought it. You know, I was like, I love RPGs. It has a turn-based combat system that these losers are calling revolutionary. They're saying it's like Persona.
I'm so sick of hearing this. I'm so sick. I'm sick and tired of hearing that stupid argument. They're saying it's revolutionary. I'm like, are they? Or are they saying it's a well-done system that is a breath of fresh air? Now, if there are people who are saying like it's revolutionary and never been done before, yes, they're clearly wrong. They're probably not used to playing a lot of RPGs. So obviously this game, which I'd say has a pretty easy stepping on point compared to JRPGs. And I'll tell you why that is a little bit later. But oh, I can do this.
So that piqued my interest. I had to see what this game was hidden for. It might be good, right? Hell, it might be great. But no, after playing it, it's not even close. It's once again another fake RPG for casuals that are too stupid to play real RPGs.
I'm barely 2 minutes in, and already all this guy has done is just insult people who like the game and anyone that gives it a high praise or a high score. You just like this game because you're a casual who doesn't like real RPGs. Good lord, bro. You're hilarious.
And that is once again a fact, not an opinion. It's a wannabe Final Fantasy,
In what way? In what way is it like Final Fantasy? Okay.
Be Persona, proving once again JRPGs are superior and will always be superior to Western RPGs. Western RPGs are fake RPGs that could never even come close. This game wants to be Final Fantasy so bad. It wants to be Persona so bad. It wants to be a JRPG so bad. It has an identity crisis. It doesn't have its own identity whatsoever. It feels like a straight up copy and paste from all the other great RPGs that came out before it.
Okay, so the argument here is that this doesn't know what it wants to be and it's trying to be like every other RPG. It's like, okay, yeah, because in the history of games, we've never actually taken elements of some games and used them in others. Yeah, I wouldn't all be surprised if the development team that worked on this game were in fact fans of Persona 5. I mean, that's widely considered to be one of the best like RPG/JRPGs of all time. And I understand the argument of, like, his special grappling ability being, you know, lifted from Persona, but, like, if it works, it works. I mean, if you don't want that and you want everything to be, like, a super long-winded game of exploration where you have very limited movement, I mean, yeah, sure, you can do that, and plenty of games have done that before, a.k.a. Western RPGs that this guy clearly hates so much. But he keeps saying, like, it's trying to be, like, Final Fantasy, and I'm like, to what degree like Final Fantasy? This is very much not like Final Fantasy, and that's silly, because like I consider myself to be a Final Fantasy guy, and I'm like, I never really got a lot of Final Fantasy vibes from this, but I would say a lot of it would have to do with the fact that the team who worked on this game last worked on Lost Odyssey, which was another RPG, which had the composer from Final Fantasy. So maybe that's where some of this is coming in. Maybe some of that feel came from working on that project years ago.
And that wouldn't be a bad thing if it was executed well, but it's not. It's a boring, repetitive, grindy, wannabe Final Fantasy that doesn't even come close. I mean,
I don't think this guy actually played the game. I really don't. Grindy? Grindy in what way? This does not have the same battle system. You literally can avoid fights if you want in this game. Unlike in Final Fantasies, where you at least have to have something equipped to avoid random encounters, this is nothing like that. You literally have to walk up to an enemy that you will see in the field and either walk into them or use your special ability that allows you to get the first strike in the fight, and then you fight them. And then we get into the combat itself, which it involves like picking your attacks or using your free shots. It also has you parry attacks, you dodge attacks. Like that's where a lot of people are liking the game. It's putting people back into the driver's seat of these games, and it doesn't feel like a massive, like, and I don't want to say this about RPGs, but let's be honest, there are times playing RPGs where we just spend way too much time in one area trying to level up our characters because you notice there's like a level cap in a lot of these areas where, like, in order to get to this point, you gotta be like 5 to 10 levels higher. And yes, Final Fantasy is guilty of that.
Even the latest Final Fantasy games, which are complete trash, I'd take those over this. That's how bad this game is. I thought we went over this already, man. The only real RPGs are JRPGs. Western RPGs are not.
And here's the thing. If you're into JRPGs, that's fine. I have nothing against people who are into JRPGs. But again, you can clearly tell that this is a guy who just his JRPGs are the only RPGs and none other matter. So by that standard alone, then your opinion here is completely biased. So hearing a lot of the complaints, I'm like, right, but you're already looking through it through the wrong lens.
Real RPGs, they are not real gamers. Or people that play them are not real gamers. And that's how it's going to be from now till the end of time.
It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that JRPGs are a whole different other tone, vibe, play style, and culture entirely. And not a lot of people resonate with JRPGs. I'm one of them to some degree. Like, I was never huge into Persona, but I'm not going to sit here and hate on it just because I'm not into like that kind of culture or that type of settings. But I played it and I liked it from what I experienced, but like right away I can't take this guy seriously. But again, I mean, yes, it's his opinion, but it's like right away I'm like, yes, this is clearly just somebody who's upset that this isn't the RPG that he wants that's getting all the buzz. So I have a feeling he's one of these people that just likes to hate on the new popular stuff because it's new and popular.
The only exception is The Witcher 3, which is a Western RPG, but that is a real RPG. It's a great game. But the gameplay in Expedition 33 is a wannabe Persona. They even copied Joker's grappling hook when you move around. It's crazy. Proving once again Persona 5 is the GOAT. It tries to be innovative and interactive with its turn-based combat system, but it fails hard. It tries to do this flashy stuff. You have parries, you have dodges, you have what else do you have?
Come on, there's so many.
You have quick time events,
quick time events. Yes, you literally hit the A button on a little like timer in your special skill abilities that you can select, which will affect damage and criticals. That's the point. The whole point of that system is to get you engaged into the game. Otherwise, and I played a lot of RPGs where literally it's battle, select ability, do ability, wait for your turn. hours of that. This puts you right there. And there's a little bit of a button press in there to keep you involved. Because yes, you do need to stay involved. Because there is a lot of strategy with a lot of these fights. Which is nice, because a lot of it isn't, you have to be a certain level to get this high. What it is actually saying is, no, you need to be paying attention to what your enemy is doing. Because they might put up shields. You may not have everything you need to get through, like, the amount of attacks, because you'll have free shots equal to the number of AP, and so forth, like... But, like, if you are able to jump and dodge, or, like, the jump, I call it a jump dodge, I think it is. Like, where you jump, you hit the right trigger, and, like, you take out, like, several of their shields, and you do that more than once, and it makes it so attacking them becomes easier the next time around. Like, it's strategy in real time. It's different from Final Fantasy, where there's still strategy implemented in different ways. But he just said dodge and parry. Dodging is the easier of the two, at least from what I found. But parrying, doing that enough times, allows you to counterattack. And then you get in a gradient, you're dodging like a gradient dodge to do a gradient counterattack, which is very important because that does massive damage. Plus there's about, breaking, which basically stuns the enemy and allows you to do a little bit more damage.
Terrible quit time events, by the way. You have to press the button. Oh my god, it's horrible. Like, so no other RPG would have ever had to do that. It's trying to do all this flashy stuff.
Oh yeah, and I heard too, like this. Oh, this is taking from Final Fantasy X, right? Well, what was it? Lord of the Rings, the Three Kings, I believe it was, on GameCube, did the exact same thing, and everyone loved it. I don't see a problem with having anything to tell you this is the turn order, so you can plan it out better. And if it bothers you that much, just cover that side of the screen. But he hasn't mentioned that yet.
But it doesn't matter how flashy your game is. If the mechanics are trash, then they're still trash, which it is.
They're not.
The enemies are spongy and not fun to fight whatsoever. The boss.
If the enemies are spongy and not fun to fight, then you're literally not doing. You're not You're not looking around for Pictos. You're not leveling them up. You're not utilizing those Lumina points. You're not learning the game. If you're just going in and doing base attacks and you're not doing anything, you're not fully experiencing the game. The game rewards you for really getting expansive and finding all of those extra Pictos. Yes, I get it. The enemies are a little spongy in the beginning, but that's because you're just starting out. The premise of the game is literally you're going to fight the Paintress, the big bad of this game, in a land that you're not familiar with, only having reports that you have learned from other expeditions prior. You're learning as you go. Like, no one has a clear set path of how to stop them. So, of course, fighting them is going to be difficult at first. But as you get into it, and you understand how to use the skills, and you understand the Lumina Point system, and the weapons, it gets easier. And then you start really going through them. Plus, not to mention, as I said before, if you were in an open battlefield where you had random encounters that stopped what you were doing and you did it like as much as like a Final Fantasy had done before, I completely agree with what this guy is saying. But it's not it. The field has limited encounters. It's only what you see and you can completely go around them. But it doesn't want you to. You learn the Pictos that you have equipped, and then you use your Lumina points to give yourself permanent, permanent, but as long as you have them equipped, they will be with you at all time, and you keep building those Lumina points. It's very reminiscent of Final Fantasy IX. Again, clearly this game is borrowing from other games, but that's not necessarily a bad thing when we're at this point with RPGs where it's like, where else do we go that we haven't gone before?
Boss battles are all boring and repetitive and lack any substance, any surprises, any cool features. The spell system is lazy. The upgrade systems are convoluted.
The upgrade system is convoluted. No, you upgrade your weapons depending on how many enemies you fight. It's very simple. It's not convoluted at all. And then you go to the curator in your camp, and you upgrade your weapons there, or you just look for more. Or I'm sorry, you look for more. Not convoluted at all. It's very straightforward.
The menus are a convoluted, ugly mess
Also
that is
not.
confusing and frustrating. The
No,
movement is clunky and feels stiff. It lacks any depth.
not
There's no
really.
skill.
Not really. I mean, to what exactly? The fact that it's not like Fortnite movement. I'm like, no. I mean, there are some times when you're trying to do like a very sharp turn, it sucks. But I literally just did the little side mission where you have to go and find like the gestural like party, and it's basically like a bunch of platforming on weird objects, which is a lot. I forget the name of the game. Um it's referencing, but it's literally like just climbing platforms up, higher in the sky until you get to the top. That's literally it. And the reward is you get to put one of your characters in a speedo. That's it. Like the game just it knows how to have fun. And again, you don't even have to do that. If that's what he means by that, like it's stiff, by to what degree?
To be found anywhere in this game. You can just steamroll enemies, but once they start
If you can steamroll, see that's my point. And then he just said earlier, like, oh, they're sponges, but then you can steamroll enemies, and I'm like, okay, so which is it?
ramping up a little bit, it's not ramping up because it's hard. It's just they make all the enemies spongy. So it's like you're
Dude just continues to contradict himself.
hitting, doing no damage. Just like I'm
You're not
telling
doing
you,
it right.
these developers nowadays do not know how to balance enemies. It's like
No, they don't know how to balance enemies, which is just code for making enemies so easy up to a certain point to where you get no experience, and then you get to another area of the game where you have to continuously do it again until they become a non-issue. It's like one of the most boring thing of RPGs is level grinding, whereas in this one it's literally saying, no, venture out and find different, more challenging monsters if you want a challenge. By the way, level up all your stuff. It's not supposed to be easy because the battling is very few and far between compared to most other RPGs. I know I've been pausing a lot. I'm sorry, but just a lot
every
of what this
game
guy
I play now, the enemies
annoying.
are just sponges. It's so frustrating. This would have never happened
Really
back
not.
in the day. The game just steals everything from other games and does it worse. The
It
gameplay was
borrows.
so boring. It made me drowsy on several occasions. I just could not deal with this. It feels like another Sony walking simulator. So boring. The cutscenes are horrible. The characters look so unnatural and stiff. It's crazy. The story makes no sense whatsoever and is full of plot holes.
Tell me you didn't play the game without telling me you didn't play the game, or you just weren't paying attention. Something tells me this guy played it in one of two ways. Either he didn't play it all the way through, or he wasn't paying attention at all. He wasn't communicating with the team at all. But no, this to me just sounds like someone who is just like, I want to play an RPG because I want to play an RPG. And they literally are going out of their way to avoid conversation with other characters, learning anything about prior expeditions. Like, this is where the game really shines, is that the game opens up the more you actually put into it. If you're just going to treat it like a dry, bare bones experience, that's what you're likely going to get out of it. It's a convoluted mess. Of course it's a weird convoluted mess. You're not playing it the way it was intended. That's like saying I played through Mass Effect and literally did none of the side missions or side quests, and I'm wondering why at the end of the game it feels so hollow. This is the same concept. It wants you to communicate with people on your team. It wants you to build up those relationships when Verso is introduced into your team. It wants you to explore. It wants you to find the other logs from previous expeditions. It wants you to go outside of just this very linear path that is the central story. And yes, it takes a while to learn what's going on. Like, I'm roughly 2/3 of the way through the game, and I'm still learning about it. And that's by design. It's not giving you all the information right up front, which is funny because Last I checked, a lot of JRPGs, they kind of wait till later in the game to hit you with like what's really actively going on, especially if there's major story components. How is that any different here? It's convoluted to this guy because, again, he's playing this with blinders on.
And plot armor, and they try to tell this compelling story about death and about, you know, all this humanity, and they try to make it a very somber feeling and a very grounded story, and it fails in every regard. It does not keep you engaged whatsoever. The characters are all one-dimensional cardboard cutouts that you've seen in thousands of games before. They have no interesting motives, goals, motivations, nothing. They are just there. The graphics look 2 gens behind at best, and that's being extremely generous. The music is awful. The voice acting made my ears bleed on several occasions. It was that horrendous. I mean,
this guy is so bad. He's so mad. He hates that this game is so popular. Oh my gosh, what a bitter dude. The voice acting is bad. The voice acting was fine. What is this guy talking about? Uninteresting characters. Okay. Uninteresting characters. Something tells me he got like an hour in the game and he felt like he already knew all the answers. Because the way this guy is sounding, it just sounds like he's putting zero effort or energy into wanting to explore or learn about this game. It's really sad. But this guy is so angry that people like this game.
Is gaming so dead that this is what's considered a good RPG nowadays? A game like this wouldn't have even got any attention back when gaming was alive and well, but gaming is so dead. The most basic, bare bones, bottom of the barrel trash is seen as great now? I just cannot believe how far gaming has fallen, man. I mean, you casual losers that play bad games all the time are responsible for this complete lack of quality nowadays. You clowns should all be ashamed of yourselves. It's your fault. It's your fault that we receive bad games like this, because instead of playing good games, you rather play trash.
And by good games, he means you're just not playing the JRPGs that I like. You like this game. You know... one of the most popular games that has come out this year, and it's only been out for like, what, a month?
Trash like this because a stupid reviewer told you to. Some trash YouTuber that doesn't even play games made a video giving their first impressions. I can't even talk right now. I'm so irritated. Giving their first impressions and sat here and lied to you and told you it was one of the greatest games that they've ever played, and your dumb ass believed it. Just because you see all these losers that literally don't play games for the quality, they just play games. Oh, I heard everyone's talking about it. I'll hop on it too. So you saw everybody playing it and you said to yourself, okay, I need to play it too. Not because you enjoy it, not because you wanted to.
So what if people are playing it because they saw somebody playing it? Who cares? Who cares? It looked interesting. Let the game speak for itself. If people like it, it clearly works. It's like I've said, I'm not a Fortnite fan. I really don't like Fortnite. It's very obvious that despite me not liking it and me thinking it's not a real shooter, clearly it's working because it's one of the most widely popular free-to-play games that there is right now. This guy's argument is so much in that vein of, this is trash because I like these other games more and this isn't enough, and you casuals are the reason why we keep getting bad games. So it's like, okay, so we're just going to keep deflecting the fact that, you know, there's clearly something here that works, and there's a lot of love and care put into this game. No, screw that. It's not a JRPG that I like, so forget it. This game is cheeks. No, thank you.
Because you were so desperate for clout. You're so desperate for clout. You'll play games like this that you have no interest in just because everyone else is playing it. It made sense for someone like me to play this game because if people are talking about a turn-based RPG, something that's great, of course, I'm going to check it out. I'm the turn-based RPG king. I mean, do we need to go over how many times I've just been sitting here just representing for RPGs, how many hours I put in turn-based? It makes sense for me to be interested in a game like this, but you people don't care. I thought turn-based RPGs were trash. I thought turn-based RPGs were trash. I thought RPGs in general are trash. And all of a sudden, RPGs are where it's at. Even though I've been preaching for...
So now he's coming from a place of, oh, I thought they were bad, but now they're so good because of this game. This guy's argument is all over the place. Anyway, I'm going to stop here only because I'm like, this is the clip from the beginning of the game, and I don't want to give too much away. I say go experience it for yourself. It's free to play on Game Pass. But I'm gonna finish it up here because like this is getting me upset because this is literally just one guy's incredibly biased opinion about the game and how it's so trash according to his perspective, and because of that, it's not worth all of the accolades and attention that it has been getting. To which I say this: if you didn't like it, that's fine. But this is gatekeeping. You are essentially telling people to not play this game because it is not the JRPG you want. It wasn't made for you if that's the case. Just like there are popular games out there that didn't resonate well with other people. Obviously, the attention and the reviews say something else entirely. If the game was truly that bad, why is it getting so much praise? Sure, it's got its, defectors and people who don't like it, but that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with hating the game. This guy is allowed to not like the game. But essentially, he boils it down to 3 major points, at least that I can think of. The first point is he's claiming that it's on the ground. Like, one of the reasons why it's propped up is that people are calling it, it's innovative, therefore it's good. I will give him some leeway on that one. This is not innovative. There have been plenty of games that have done the active battle system that's in this game. Is it innovative? No. Does it work well? Absolutely. And it wants you to get good. It wants you to parry and learn the timing windows because it rewards you for doing good. The game wants you to go out and find more Pictos that you can equip and then learn so everyone else can have attached to them as long as they have them equipped in their specialty menu. The game wants you to go out and find extras in the world, whether it be character customization for the sake of fun. It gives you something to do. Otherwise, it's just a very linear RPG. A very linear RPG, and the other issue is that and I'll get to the next point. It's what did he say? He said like the game is like a convoluted mess. It's convoluted in what way exactly? The fact that it's not revealing its whole hand right away. It's not telling you everything you need to know in order to play the game. Like, that's what irritates me most of all. It's like, this is a storytelling, like, perspective. This is a device in the game that's keeping you invested to keep going on to learn more. It's a device literally in the game to move you forward more. You want to learn more about what's going on. You want to learn about the Paintress. You want to learn about the Axons. You want to learn about the special abilities and Picos. You want to learn about the Nevrons, the white Nevrons. You want to learn about all of these things because the information is not just given to you in a random tutorial that pops up all the time. Yes, you get those in the beginning of the game, but that's to teach you the base mechanics. And the last part of this game is that it's the fault of fake gamers that we have gotten to this point. And I'm just going to say right away, I've said gatekeeping several times. because that is what this is effectively. You do not speak on behalf of all gamers. And the fact that some people feel like they do, and I mean seriously, like if this guy's putting on a show for YouTube, that's fine. But to say that people like this and they're not real gamers, oh, they're just casuals, I ask this, who cares? The game is popular. It's selling copies, despite it being free on Game Pass. People like it. It's clearly a massive labor of love from a very small team of developers. It's that story of passion and it being a love letter to RPGs, and it drew inspiration from clearly other games before it. And for this guy to come in and just completely dismantle all of this because he feels it's too overrated to be good. It's the worst of all time. It's the worst. And I guess if I had to have a fourth, the bonus level point, to call this Final Fantasy to me is so wild. Final Fantasy and this are so far apart, it's not even the same. Final Fantasy has always been, it has never been a game that requires you for what? Parrying and blocking. To be fair, I haven't played Final Fantasy 16, so I don't know if that's what's in there. But again, it's Final Fantasy in the regard of what exactly? You fight creatures, you gain items and weapons, you move, you fight boss. Yes, that's all RPGs. What makes Final Fantasy has always been the characters, the other references to other Final Fantasies, namely like the summons, the locations. And to just say this is Final Fantasy because it's an RPG, no, you're losing me. Like, I'd argue it's less of a Final Fantasy game and more like, it feels more like they took maybe Persona and Lost Odyssey and kind of put it together. At least that's what I got from it. But yeah. Play the game. And if you like it, cool. If you don't like it, also cool. But yeah, just don't be those people that criticize others for liking a game that you don't. Because at the end of the day, if they're having fun, they found something in it that you weren't able to. And if you're someone that feels the need to share your bitterness with the world, chances are you have other issues you need to figure out.